So in the last video, I talked about the second-hand game retailer CeX, and specifically their brand new rarities category, which catalogues all of the hot ticket games on certain retro consoles. Last time out, I was looking at the most expensive PlayStation 2 games, and it was interesting. It was a mixed bag of the pretty good, the pretty bad, and the Snow White and the 7 clever boys. Ugh, the horror. The horror. But you seem to dig it, and in all honesty, I really enjoyed making it. So let's do it again. This time I'll be looking at the most expensive games on the GameCube, a strong contender for the most underrated console ever. I mean, it has a handle, I could only dream of having that much riz. And while I hadn't heard of many of the most expensive PS2 games before researching them, this time around, there's some surprisingly popular franchises topping the charts. And with that juicy teaser keeping all you little sausages watching, let's get cracking. Usual rules apply, we'll start with the least spenny, working our way up to the most ridiculous price tags. Let's go! Hey, we've already covered Gacha Force on the channel, so you're legally required to go and watch that video now. But in case you're going to be an absolute criminal, break the law, and not watch it, here's a little something. Gacha Force combines action and strategy as players collect and battle with toy-like gacha robots. And despite its pretty poor sales at launch, it's since developed a devoted fanbase, and is now considered a pretty big hidden gem. And while it got relatively middling reviews at the time, it's genuinely a lot of fun. There's not a whole lot of downtime between missions, the action is snappy and energetic, and the style is cute and colourful. The only real weak points are the story, and the general lack of other things to do. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a fairly impressive game for 2003, and it's a bit of a shame that there's been no news on the series since. But for £190, yeah, there's better robot games out there for a fraction of the price. Maybe we'll do a video on them sometimes, who knows. A mental premise, cartoony graphics, and surprisingly decent gameplay? Yeah, Ribit King was destined to become a cult classic. You play as Scooter, who alongside your trusty sidekick, who just so happens to be a picnic basket, has to save your home planet by playing Frolf. Frolf. Literally frog golf. I never thought I'd find a game that made Katamari seem normal, but here we are, and there's a lot to be said for that. I'm a fan of weird, kitschy things, and Ribit King really tickled this particular fancy. It's a really solid game, but the whimsical packaging that envelops it just takes it to a whole new level. Still not worth the £210 price tag, mind you, but just know if you own this, I feel nothing but tight-fisted envy towards you. Love ya. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and beat-em-up games go together as well as pizza and, well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But while the original arcade game is a bona fide classic, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus, a classic, it is not. The game received mixed reviews for its repetitive gameplay and lackluster graphics, and I'd have to say that's a pretty fair assessment. It's not awful, but it might be one of the most forgettable games I've ever played. But does that sheer level of forgettability make it ironically memorable? Frankly, I don't care. And neither should you. To tell you the truth, the only real redeeming feature is the fact the exceptional arcade game is included as bonus content, which is a bit like if you picked up an old mid-2000s era Adam Sandler comedy and inexplicably there was an episode of The Simpsons in the bonus content. I don't care what it says on the box, I'm watching The Simpsons. Another game coming in at £210, and considering you can play the arcade game for free in your browser, you're better off buying 84 copies of Legends of Wrestling for no other reason than it looks like Hulk Hogan's doing a big poo on the box. Outstanding. Fire Emblem is a turn-based JRPG series, so there's like a 2% chance I'm actually going to be able to play it. Seriously, I played like 2 hours of 3 houses and I've never felt more inadequate. Path of Radiance is, if anything, less welcoming to the uninitiated. But don't get it twisted, this is a reflection of my lack of ability, rather than the quality of the game. This is a bona fide work of art, with a rich, captivating narrative, and rewarding gameplay if you're up for the challenge. While Fire Emblem is pretty popular today, back in 2005, it was still relatively niche in the West, meaning it got a fairly limited print run over here. This, combined with its growing popularity, means it now fetches £250. And while it's not one for me, this is the closest I've come in one of these videos to justifying the price tag. Like a first edition of a book, there's a lot to be said for having this in your collection, but I think the better outcome would be some sort of remaster or re-release. But with that seeming unlikely, it feels like the right time to mention that my favourite aquatic mammal is the dolphin. Now, I'm not really a Pokemon guy, but I do know a lot of you are pretty fond of those little pocket monsters. That's why you'll have to forgive me when I say that until recently, I was absolutely convinced that the XD in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness was a laughing face. Oh, aren't I silly? Anywho, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is an RPG spin-off of the main games, offering a darker storyline and unique shadow Pokemon, which I'm sure are very important. At the time, the game received positive reviews for its engaging story and innovative mechanics, though some did criticize it for repetitive gameplay. But if I was a little bit bolder, I might say that all Pokemon games have repetitive gameplay. But I dare not be that bold, I've met some of you. But as a Pokemon game, and a relatively obscure one at that, Laughing Face Gale of Darkness was bound to shoot up in price, currently settling at £250. I think we're now entering silly money territory, and let me tell ya, it is only up from here. Chibi Robo puts players in control of a teeny tiny little robot tasked with helping a family by completing various household chores. Now that might not sound all that interesting, but the game got a lot of praise back in the day for its unique gameplay and heartwarming story. The only problem is, no one really bought it. But like a lot of these games, over the years it's developed a big cult following. And I genuinely think a lot of that might be down to all the love it gets on Scott the Woz. Seriously, I'd never even heard of it before I started watching Scott's videos, but if you put a list of all the games featured in this video in front of me and said you could pick one to own, yeah, I think it'd be Chibi Robo hands down. While there's been some half-baked attempts to keep the series going on other consoles, none of them have maintained the aura of the original. But at £310, I guess I'll just stay sad and jealous of everyone lucky enough to own that cute little bastard. Look at him there, that little expensive bastard. It's like Space Jam, but with Disney characters and less Bill Murray. Disney Sports Basketball does exactly what you think it does, mixing beloved Disney characters with arcade-style basketball action. And despite this charming concept, the game received lukewarm reviews for its simplistic gameplay and overall lack of depth. But with hundreds of better basketball games, and indeed, even licensed sports games out there, this is one with a price tag driven entirely by its novelty factor. And while I'm almost always down to see Goofy dunk, not for £310. Hey, everyone knows Frogger. That jaywalking little amphibian is a true icon of video games. But get this, what if he was 3D? Frogger Beyond attempts to do just this, just not very well. I mean, come on, it's exactly what it looks like, complete with uninspired level design and frustrating controls. And its high price is mainly due to its limited release and perceived nostalgic value. It's a game that's more valuable as a collector's item than as a memorable gaming experience, and for £310, I'd rather forego the collector's item for more memorable gaming experiences. Now, normally the games on these lists are so niche and obscure that I've either never heard of them, or at best, I'm vaguely aware of their existence. But not only have I heard of Kirby A, it's a game I remember playing quite a bit. If you're not aware of it, it's a racing game featuring everyone's favourite pink blob and vor enthusiast, with plenty of different modes and levels to challenge yourself against, and pretty simple to grasp controls. It was perfect for my simple child brain, and offered something different enough from Mario Kart to stand on its own merit, and adult me loved it just as much. What I don't love is that I must have got rid of it and it's now worth £320. Have I spent the last few hours screaming into a pillow? Maybe, but this is still an ace game. And finally we have Gadget Racers, which honestly feels like a bit of a bum note to end on. It's a pretty box standard arcade racer, with cutesy presentation and limited customization options. But for some inexplicable reason, it costs £695. And don't get me wrong, I understand that some collectible games go up in value, but what makes this even weirder is that the very same game on PS2 costs £20 and is in stock to buy right now. The exact same experience, just 97% off. I just don't get why it's so much more expensive, or why you would ever even consider buying it on GameCube. Is it to brag that you've got the most expensive game on the console? Is it really worth that? I have no idea, but I feel poorer for just looking at these prices. Good grief. So that's the most expensive, rarest GameCube games in the UK according to CeX. And with lower prices and better quality than the PS2's offerings, I think Nintendo's baby boy pips it at the moment. Will the most expensive games on the original Xbox be able to challenge our Angular King? Tune in next time to find out, whenever I get around to making it. And before you go, make sure to like and subscribe for plenty more on all things gaming, check out our movie channel UDS Films, and visit UpsideDownShark.com for everything else. Until then, my name is Tom, this has been UDS, and we'll see you next time.